Under new management, the Sunbury Elite Indoor Sports Centre is proud to provide the wider Sunbury community with a whole new fresh look and feel. Covering all forms of indoor sports from indoor soccer, cricket, netball, yoga, Pilates, darts, golf, and especially our all-new Sunbury Futsal League, the Sunbury Elite Indoor Sports Centre has something for every sports enthusiast. Young budding footballers who are looking to improve their skills come in and register or trial with Sunbury City Futsal Club, coached by the highly accredited George Dibb. Be a part of one of the fastest growing sports in Australia and become a part of the new futsal pathway by representing Sunbury City Futsal Club at the upcoming Football Victoria Futsal League state titles in April. For a full overview of all that Sunbury Elite Indoor Sports Centre has to offer, please visit our website www.sunburyindoorsports.com.au, like our Facebook page or call us on 0448 445 406.
Looking for the best in authentic Maltese cuisine? Then you need to dine at Georgie's on Vista. Situated in the heart of Fraser Eyes, you can't go wrong when it comes to family dining. We have a menu for mum and dad, one for the kids, and one for seniors. Everyone's taken care of. Don't miss our specialty nights. Tuesday night is Parma night, where you get to choose from not one, but 5 different Parmas. Wednesday night, kids eat free with every paying adult meal. Thursday night is Members Night, where members get the chance to win some great prizes. And Friday night, join us for happy hour between 5:30pm to 7:30pm. Jim, Johnny, Jack and their little brother Schooner are only $5 each. Looking to get an early start Friday afternoon for a punt? Our sports bar with TAB is open from 3pm Friday afternoons. To book your table, email info@georgiesonvista.com.au. Bring the family and come dine at Georgie's on Vista, 46 City Vista Court, Fraser Eyes, Plumpton.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to you wherever you may be. Welcome to what is going to be a new fantastic chapter in the Football Out West show. And we're talking about the fact that we are starting, as of tonight, the Sunday supplement rather. It's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. My name's Tonci, and joining me tonight, the 3 wise monkeys as we are being dubbed. I've just done that myself. Steve Curtin, firstly, over to you. Welcome tonight, our special guest.
Thanks, Tonci. As always, a pleasure to be back on the Football Out West show and joining yourself and Craig. Looking forward to a cracking show tonight. Getting through a number of results and action from the weekend. It's tiring just thinking about it all, but it's going to be great.
Oh, absolutely. Speaking of results and what's happening tonight, Craig Filer, very, very warm welcome to you after a bit of a weekend away, a boys' weekend away of sorts, but we'll hear about that later on. But more importantly, mate, what awaits us tonight? What sort of guests have we got?
Yeah, firstly, good evening, guys. Great to be back on a Sunday evening. I think we came to enjoy Sunday evenings a few months ago when we were in lockdown, and hopefully we can get back to what we were doing then. So yeah, Tonch, who have we got on tonight? We've got some great guests. Big weekend. Sorry, mate.
Go on. Sorry, buddy. I was going to say.
Big weekend of football, obviously in the Football Victoria calendar this weekend, and some big games that were played on the weekend. So we've got Aidin Brice, who's one of the stalwarts there at Melbourne Knights. He's going to come on and have a chat with us about their 1-0 win on Friday night against Dandenong City. We then have St Albans' Stefan Baricevic, who's going to come on, and obviously they played this afternoon and had a 3-0 loss to Avondale, but Stefan will be on to talk about that. We'll get Joey Franjic on to talk about the big 1v2 in State League One, which finished off in a 1-1 draw yesterday. Then we'll cross over to Hoppers Crossing, who had a fantastic win yesterday against League Leaguers Strathmore. So we'll be hearing from their captain, Matthew Scott. He's going to come on and have a chat about that game. And then finally, about 11 o'clock this evening, we'll have Keilor Wolves head coach Sofiane Soufi. Oh, I love that. Love the French accent.
What an exotic name for a State League 5. Hey.
He's going to come on and talk about their fantastic start in State League 5. I think they're 6 out of 6. So, and a big win yesterday for them down at Barwin Soccer Club. So, a full panel of guests this evening, Tonci.
Speaking of Barwon Soccer Club, Steve Curtin, tomorrow you'll be joining me for the Geelong Region Soccer Show at 7 p.m. and Barwon Soccer Club are the featured team. So we'll hear a lot from them. But lots to talk about tonight. Steve, let's turn our attention first of all to the A-League and what has been happening with regards to the A-League.
Yeah, so there's been a match just been completed a short time ago, and the Melbourne Victory shared the points at Amy Park with the Central Coast Mariners' Callum McManaman's 62nd minute effort, cancelling out Matt Simon's opening of the scoring in the 4th minute in that one. So, points shared there, and you can see on the screen there the other results that have taken place since Thursday night, and that saw Melbourne City 3-1 winners over the Jets, a match that finished with only 20 players on the field, Adelaide United and Western United, and no goals. Also, no goals in the Perth Glory Macarthur fixture, as was the case also in a rain-affected match in Brisbane against the Wellington Phoenix. While in that thrilling Sydney derby last night, what an occasion that was as well to witness on TV. Imagine being there; it'd be fantastic. Western Sydney Wanderers 3-2 winners over Sydney FC. And you can see those matches coming up there. Brisbane Roar, well, they will host Western United this Wednesday. And we'll have to see how things go with the COVID situation there, because Perth Glory is scheduled to host Melbourne City on Wednesday as well. Yeah,
so some interesting stuff there. Let's have a quick look at the ladder. Melbourne City, well, this could be the year of the Sky Blues. They're really firing up at the top of the competition standings. 2 games in hand, 3 points ahead. Central Coast and Sydney FC and Adelaide United all dropped points, and so did Macarthur for that matter. So what a good weekend it was for Melbourne City. Look, Melbourne Victory gained another point, so they're slipping off the wooden spoon position there. But that's all right. They're not going to get relegated, so it's all good there. And Western United are looking actually quite good. They're in 6th position. They've got 2 games in hand, I guess. So they could quite well solidify their spot in the top 6. So they've got an important game, as we said, this Wednesday against Brisbane Roar. So that's a game that they really need to win. And Craig, your thoughts on the last few days of A-League action?
Yeah, look, just looking at the ladder there, Tonch, you wouldn't bet against Melbourne City at this stage. Clear top. Let's say 3 points. They have got 2 games in hand of both Central Coast and Sydney. But you look at the goal difference. Goals for 42, goals against 20. Goal difference of 22. That's huge. Over Central Coast. So, they certainly look as if they are the team to catch, and wouldn't surprise me if, as you said, Tonch, this is their year, and they go on and claim the title, which will be fantastic for the club.
Yeah. Now we've got a lot to get through tonight, so we might actually go straight to the. I think, gents, I reckon what we should do is move along. If we take one last look at the ladder there, let's first of all let's turn our attention to the NPL. So we've got a guest coming up. Craig, you're going to just jump off screen and get our guest already there. So we'll just pop you in the corner there and mute you. But Steve, have you had any games this weekend that you've been commentating?
Yeah, yesterday I was alongside Ed Gooden at Port Melbourne there, where we saw the Sharks get a surprise 3-2 win over the Oakley Cannons, which was a good result for the Sharks, who had a lot of turnover of players, 5 new players in that one. But George Mells showed his class, scoring a hat-trick in that one to get the Sharks over the line. And those other results of the weekend, as we mentioned earlier, the Knights on Friday night, kicking off the round against Dandenong City. Well, the Knights got the 1-0 win there. And some other results from yesterday afternoon saw the Eastern Lions and Altona Magic share the points. That was 1-1. And top of the table, South Melbourne, they had a 2-1 home win against Hume City. In the Green Derby, the Bentley Greens had to come from behind to snatch a 3-2 win down at Kingston Heath over Green Gully, while Heidelberg United continued their excellent run that they're having with a 2-1 away win at Dandenong Thunder. And rounding out the weekend's action, Avondale, 3-0 winners over St Albans Saints there. So Avondale just going along nicely as well. So wins for all of those top 5 sides on your ladder there. You can see there South Melbourne, Heidelberg, Avondale, and the Knights and Bentley.
Well, that ladder doesn't take into account this evening's game. So Avondale now slip into second spot, equal second with Heidelberg United, but a far superior goal difference. They are really doing exceptionally well. But look, that top 4, even I guess the top 5, it's pretty solid, and they're starting to sort of pull away from the pack there. But some big clubs there: South Melbourne, Heidelberg, Melbourne Knights. And then, Avondale and Bentley Greens, obviously powerhouses of the local competition. But casting our eye now to next week's games, 3 Friday night games. Steve, we've got Green Gully taking on Eastern Lions. Dandenong City hosting Bentley Greens, but, mate, they don't come bigger than this. Melbourne Knights taking on South Melbourne at Knight Stadium with a slightly later kickoff time of 8:15 p.m. We'll find out a little bit more about that. But, a mouth-watering start to next weekend, hey?
Yeah, it really is. And that'll be the second time they face each other, because they're also playing this Tuesday night in the FFA Cup 5th round fixture at Bob Jane. So hopefully those two clubs are not sick of the sight of each other by about 10:15 on Friday night, Tonci.
Yeah, absolutely. Craig, have we got our first guest on the line? Yep.
Yeah, we have, Tonci. Yeah, we've he's sat there in the room waiting for us. So we'll get him on. It's welcome to the show, Aidin Brice.
Thanks for having me.
Aidin, welcome to Football Out West. It's great to have you on board. And we're just discussing the top 4, if you like, of the NPL, and the Knights. After a long absence. Certainly back where they belong in the top 4, mate. It's so far so good. The season's had its ups and downs, but overall, one looks back at the past 10 rounds, and I guess as a fan, as supporters, as viewers of the NPL, we're quite happy seeing what's happening down at Summer Street. What about yourself as captain of the team,
mate? To be honest, haven't been captain of the team, and actually getting a team that's very competitive within the league to just play consistent footy, and actually the boys there just want to play for 3 points no matter what, week in, week out. It's actually good to be a part of. Compared to the other years, I thought maybe we had a lot of coaching changes. We had another coach that hardly spoke English, which was very hard, which was my first year there. And I thought the boys trying to adapt to his gameplay and whatever, it just didn't suit most people. But I think now that Bebic is taking the reins, everyone understands him, everyone understands what he wants. And I think the boys, if we keep getting results, the boys are they're happier to play week in, week out if we keep picking up results and trying to play consistent footy.
Yeah, Aidin, I'll jump in there. Myself and Steve have had the pleasure of commentating for Football Victoria on a couple of games up at Knight Stadium, and there certainly seems to be a sense of belief in the squad. From front to back. The way that he's got the team set up, very strong at the back in defence. Having Nikola Jurkovic on the bench against Altona the other week and able to bring him on at half time sort of cements that. But how important is the other side to you? And the man we're just watching on the ball here, Alan Webb to Melbourne Knights. He's come back into the squad after an injury, picked up against Altona, funny enough, and obviously scored the winner on the weekend. How important is he to the club?
Mate, I don't think the club hasn't had a player like Alan Webb for a while. I don't think he's a very, very, very quick player, very smart, great touches. Like we've been used to having Hamish Watson up front, where we usually go the outlet ball because he's a muscle up man. But I think with Webby now, his runs, and we've got to play a different type of footy just to be able to adapt him and bring him into the game. And I think, like, I said to him at the start that it's going to be a hard adjusting to the squad because it was a different type of football. Because even when myself coming back from Newcastle, like it's like pre-season, I was a little bit slow coming in, but now I've got the reins. So I told Webby the exact same thing, and I think he's adapting well. He's scoring goals. He's back from injury now, which is a massive positive for the team, because now we've got, like, if Webby's starting now, we've got depth coming off the bench, or if we've got like a Breezy starting, we've got, say, like a Webby or a Keilor coming off the bench. So now it's like, now having Webby back into the squad, it's providing us with a lot of depth and a lot of quality up front.
Aidin, Steve here. Thanks for joining us again, mate. Going from attack to defence now, how's it been with your transition back into NPL Victoria this season? How have you found the pace and the quality of the competition? And also, alongside you, you've had Trevor Zvetsloot for the most part. How have you found the New Zealander and your partnership together as well?
Yeah, I had a taste a couple of years ago back down here. Like I said, it took me a while to get my feet here. I moved away from my family, even though it's only a 10-hour drive. But I thought, like, living on my own, that was sort of a stressful thing as well. I didn't quite look into that. So I think I was stressed off the pitch, which made my football not settle down as quick as I wanted it to. But things didn't go to plan back home, so I moved home and had a year when COVID hit here, and played a good season, played good footy there. And I thought halfway through the season last year, I had nothing but to give Melbourne another crack, because I thought, I'm 24 now. I should be hitting my stride, my peak. And I really feel I've taken my footy to the next level, and being awarded captain just makes it relaxes me. And every week we go out, all I want to do is just get the job done. But having Trev join the squad as well, he's got a good footballing CV. I've certainly just watched a little bit of him at training and during games, and I've watched the replays of all the games, and I sort of pick out a few things that he does, because he's obviously been around the right coaches and the right players. So I think having Trev join the squad and being a centre back partner with me, while Nicola's been out due to suspension in the first part of the first round, and it was hard for Nicola to break back in, but. Just having Trev there, he's been in the right environment at the right time, and you actually learn a little bit off him. So no, he's been good.
Now, Aidin, we've got a big weekend coming up. I mean, for in effect, it's like living the professional's dream, I suppose, of having midweek games, and not just any midweek game, an FFA Cup game against the old rival South Melbourne, and then Friday night back at Knights Stadium for, you know, the same fixture, but this time in the league. Mate, this is the sort of week I guess the players are really excited about. Tell us, you know, how do you guys prepare for something like this as opposed to a normal week?
Oh, yeah, it's massive. South Melbourne Knights, it's huge, mate.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's going to say that it's just another game, but it's not, is it? It's a massive, massive game. It's been dubbed the original Melbourne derby. That's how big it is.
Yeah, mate, I've never been a part of a football match like so competitive like this. The rivalry there, it's like you feel it as soon as you walk into either Summer Street or you walk into Lakeside. Like you get like a little chill. It's like it's actually happening. Like I'm actually being a part of the biggest like Australian like derby match. And I think the boys are excited. I think last time we had South Melbourne in the FFA Cup, we knocked them out, and I think it might have been a 4-3 game or something. We might have pinched a late header. but I think it was the exact same round as we're picking them up now. So I think the boys are confident because I know the boys really stand up when they play South Melbourne because they don't want to let the club down, they don't want to let the fans down, and they always want to be the best in the derby. So I think we had this biggest week of football that I think Melbourne Knights will go through, considering we had the match Friday against Dandy, which was another Croatian derby. We had South Melbourne away and then South Melbourne home. I don't think you're going to get a much bigger week of football than that. I know a few of the boys they've got to just recover right. I know.
And how do you do that? Sorry, how do you do that, Aidin? Because myself and Steve were talking about it the other week, actually, on air. I think it was the game against Altona where we said, midweek games are very difficult. I think we were discussing how the evening games, Friday evening games, because players are not professional. They work, so some of them will be up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning for a full day. Then they've got to eat correctly. They've got to eat at the right times. They've got to get the carbs into them or whatever it is that they have to do. How do you prepare for a midweek game like that? Because I know obviously it's very difficult.
I'm lucky enough. I'm living in an apartment with all the right facilities in it. I've got a gym, pool, spa, saunas, you name it. My apartment's got it. But I think the club have got in the right S&C coaches and anything you ask, they can give you the right answer on what you got to eat, when you should eat it, how you should recover, how long you should be recovering for, what stretches, what movements you have to do to get the blood flowing. So we missed training this morning just because we've got a heavy workload. So it was all up to the boys to do their own recovery, which I know they will, and I know they will ask the S&Cs on what to do. But my big recovery thing is on a Sunday, half of my day I'm just flopping around in the pool or the spa. I'm trying to just eat the right food, get the right meat in, and I'm not trying to just train my body.
Is that a kebab?
Sorry?
Is that a kebab?
I don't mind just like a massive steak and eggs.
That's Craig's hangover cure. Hey,
it was last time. Let me tell you.
That's a big family Sunday dinner back home in Newcastle. It's just get a massive steak, couple of eggs, and just try and give yourself some energy for the week.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Now, Aidin, one last question from me. What do we think we'll see this week with the squad depth? Do you think we'll do a bit of rotation to get through this heavy workload? We saw at the Green Gully game a couple of Friday nights ago, the likes of young Felipe Sanchez come in and do a great job, and so did Mohamed Zamora when there was a couple of injuries there when Webby was out as well as one other as well. So do we think we'll see a bit of rotation this week?
Look, I think we'll go. I think there'll be a little bit of a rotation Tuesday night's game, but I think it might only be one or two players. I'm not quite sure. I haven't spoke to Beds or heard anything from the coaches or anything about it. But I think we might change one or two maybe, depending on how the boys pulled up after Friday's game. But I think we'll go mostly strong out through the cup, I would suppose, because if you lose the cup, you're out. And you want to win cup games because it's exposure for not just the players but for the club also. And the league goes on for a while. We've still got another half to go, and I really think we'll go flat out strong Tuesday, hopefully. And I back us to win both games, but I think the league rolls on for a little bit. So I think it's more important maybe the cup than the league, you might be able to say, because you've got so many weeks and a lot of chop and change results come out in the back half of the year. So
How interesting to hear and how refreshing to hear that a club captain saying that. We've got a lot of clubs, I guess probably lower ranked clubs, that they don't take the cup as seriously, and they end up playing junior players or younger players or a reserve team and think it's just an opportunity. It's just a chore, really. But it's great to see a club like Melbourne Knights, who've got such a rich history and particularly such success in the FFA Cup in years gone by, putting so much emphasis on that. So that game on Tuesday night at Lakeside Stadium, Aidin, that kicks off at, what time does it kick off? 7:30, is it?
I dare say, probably 7:30. I'm pretty sure you have to take up kick-off.
Now, I'm not too sure if that's going to be streamed. Definitely Friday night's blockbuster, which kicks off at 8:15 at Knights Stadium. That will be streamed live on NPL Victoria. But I'm not too sure if the FFA Cup game will be.
I don't think it is, Tonci.
Yeah, so I'd suggest to absolutely everyone flood down to Lakeside Stadium. Doesn't matter if you're a South Melbourne fan, a Melbourne Knights fan, or a neutral. I think it's going to be a night full of super action. So on that note, Aidin, we wish you and the club all the best for this week coming up. It's going to be a huge week. So looking forward to a week of blockbuster football starting on Tuesday night.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for the call and letting me talk. And I hope you guys keep rolling on what you're doing. It's really good.
Well, legend. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Aidin, all the best this week.
Aidin Brice. Aidin Brice, and he's the captain of the Melbourne Knights. Now, while we're on the subject of the Melbourne Knights, a little bit of sad news during the week. In fact, we had some news even today, but during the week, the Melbourne Knights Football Club marked the passing of former player, member, and friend Keilor Baricevic, who, along with his brother Borja and Dinko Gulin, were one of the first, with his brother Borja and Dinko Gulin were the first of the big signings that the then Melbourne Croatia made way back in 1959, I think it was. And also earlier today, we also heard the sad news that foundation member, former vice president, treasurer, and 60th anniversary Hall of Famer and a true icon of the club down at Summer Street, Torma Borzic, also passed away. So our thoughts and prayers are with the entire Melbourne Knights community. But Steve, big week coming up for as Craig is just off screen looking to get our next guest. Big week of blockbuster football coming up in FFA Cup action, but also in the league, the NPL.
Yeah, that's right, mate. I'm just wondering whether we should maybe we could charter a bus up from Geelong and pick up a bar and head up to Bob Jane on Tuesday night, mate. It'd be a busy week for us, but I'd be pretty keen to see that game on Tuesday. And given we're not aware of any streaming of that one, it should only increase the crowd that will turn up there. I think
absolutely.
There'll be quite a few people there. But yeah, such as the quirks of the cup when you end up playing the same club, and also a rival twice in the same week. But also in the cup, what have they drawn them 4 times in 6 seasons now? Where the Knights and South have drawn each other in the cup, so it just keeps happening.
And they've always been absolute ding dong battles, haven't they? Like they're just absolutely fantastic. So looking forward to that. Now we're going to finish our coverage of the NPL with our next guest, and we'll just get Craig on the line and see if Craig's got our next guest on the line. Craig, is our next guest on the line?
We have, but you caught me a little bit unawares, Tonci. So I'll get him on now.
All right, yep. So our next guest is going to be St Albans Dinamo senior team player Stefan Baricevic. He'll be joining us very, very shortly.
He's
ready to go. So after today's big game down at Churchill Reserve, unfortunately, was not the result that Dinamo fans wanted. It was 3-0 in favour of Avondale, but Avondale now shoot up to second spot on the ladder. And on the line, we have Stefan Baricevic joining us. Stefan, welcome to the Football Out West show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Disappointing game today. I mean, 3-0 against Avondale. You know, they're a very good side, but it seemed to me all the goals were scored in the first half.
Yeah. I think they scored the first 2 coming from penalties before the 30th minute. Mm-hmm. Then we had our keeper sent off for the 2 yellows, which made it a bit of running around to do for the rest of the game.
Go, Craig.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So, well, let's talk about, obviously, I suppose the talking point of the game was obviously the goalkeeper being sent off for two yellow cards. I'm just looking at it on screen here. The first one was pretty bad for the young lad. I think 19 years old, the goalkeeper. Would I be right?
Yeah, he came in for his debut this weekend.
Yeah.
A bit of a mix-up around the back. So, I mean, all of us can take blame for the mistakes that happened. So, fingers crossed he comes back in and positive signs for him going forward.
Yeah, and I think it's again a learning curve for him. As you said there, he comes back and stands and learns from it. That's the key thing for any youngsters in those situations, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll all get around him, and as soon as he's ready to go again, wish him all the best. Yeah,
but on the other side to that, obviously having a goalkeeper sent off and going down to 10 men, second half was a very spirited performance from you guys. Obviously against a very good footballing side in Avondale.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we can take some positives from it. We conceded one really late in the game. I think maybe 80th minute. We worked very, very hard to in that second half. They had a lot of the ball, moved us around left and right, but we can take a lot of positives from that second half for sure.
Stefan, it's Steve here. Thanks again for joining us, mate. What did you think of Avondale? Do you think they're as tough as anyone you've faced so far this season compared to the previous opponents?
Yeah, definitely. They're a very good side, well drilled, do all the right things on the park, and very well disciplined. So I assume that they'll be up there come finals time this year.
Yeah, just obviously from your side, from a St Albans side, and we've had Jason Sherry on, the football ops manager, on a number of times on the show in the past, and depth of squad is obviously. You guys have been hit dramatically with that, with COVID, as it's been well documented on the show here. Is it your belief that over the next couple of weeks, Bruno will get some players in, and obviously that'll help you guys?
I think he will. I think we will get a few key players back in over the next coming weeks. Hopefully, add a few. But the belief internally. Is that we can turn it around. We had a couple of really good results early on, and I think we can with a few more additions, we can get back there and have a good run in second half of the year for sure.
Now, Stefan, if we look at maybe things from now off the field from a club perspective, a good crowd there today. We can see the infrastructure constantly being improved. A nice little stand there that was, I think, created in record time. We've got floodlights now, Churchill Reserve, but also. The club at grassroots is doing exceptionally well. It also has a junior football academy, which is very, similar to a lot of clubs these days down particularly in Melbourne. But the club's working really hard to really develop quality juniors. And, we've had Jason Zeri on the show many, many times. But overall, the club seems to be in a really, really good position.
We've got the Dinamo Football Academy. We've obviously got a whole bunch of juniors out in the club, like always, and very well run. We've got the academy that's run by Konjic and Tommy Pondoyak, who obviously is well known around the traps, played A-League and was a super player. So the kids are in good hands. I think the juniors always at Dinamo are well run, and hopefully we can get a few of those boys into the seniors over the next couple of years and then decades.
Yeah, I saw a post this week from actually one of the ex-players from the club who was key, before COVID hit in that fantastic start of the season you had in 2020. Ollie Bassett has just signed for a Canadian club. How much would you love to have Ollie back at the club?
Yeah, I'm sure we all would. He was probably one of the standout players in the NPL last year. It hurts losing him, but the quality he has, I doubt he would have hung around the NPL for too much longer after the start to the year he had last year, for sure.
Now, Stefan, how are you enjoying your role in the team this season? Obviously, you're trying to, get forward and create as much as you can. Are you working on things on the training ground that feel like they're starting to come off slowly in bits and pieces?
Definitely. I mean, as I said before,
internally at the club, we're not super worried. We've had a couple of bad results, but like we always do, we'll stick together, and I think things can turn really, really quickly at this level, and for our group, which we've done in the past. So, we can get back to those results like against Knights and Dandenong, winning games, and things change quickly for a club like ours.
Yeah, and I think you talk about the togetherness there, and certainly in, again, 2019, I think it was, when you got promoted, that togetherness in that latter part of the season was unbelievable. You went on a fantastic run. Obviously beat Eastern Lions, I think it was, in the grand final, to earn your place in the NPL. But that togetherness is massively important for any football club, isn't it? And you guys at this stage now, with only halfway of the season gone, you're sat there on 8 points. 1 or 2 wins, and you're back up to halfway in the league. That togetherness is massively important
for our club. Yeah, definitely. Especially with that 2019 season. I think we were known as the comeback kids. We 2-0 down a lot of games and ended up coming back. So
8 games, I think you came back to win the game. I think that was the total that year.
Yeah, exactly right. So it says a lot about our culture and what we have as a club, that togetherness and never give up attitude. So we're putting that back into our culture, and a couple of good results turn the corner quickly. And it could be super positive for the second half of the year.
And Stefan, before we let you go, we're looking at the ladder now, and I guess next week is a big, tough game away to Heidelberg United next Sunday afternoon or evening. But I guess it's a game that is no better time to start a little bit of a revival than against Heidelberg, and you could do your sister club a great service there by defeating Heidelberg. That is, if the Melbourne Knights defeat South Melbourne, and they'll jump into second or third spot on the ladder. But we talked just to Aidin Brice about, week leading up to a big game. They've got 2 big clashes with South Melbourne. I mean, Heidelberg with their fantastic new facilities there. They're a big club themselves. That must also be a real motivation thing for you guys, knowing that that's going to be a big game and all eyes will be on you guys up against Heidelberg United next Sunday.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you can't get up for a game down there with the new facilities, I think it'll be under lights on a Sunday afternoon. As a group, we'll be confident. We'll have a big week on the track and go into next week with all the confidence in the world to get a result, get us back on track, yeah.
Awesome, mate. Well, thank you very much for joining us after what maybe a forgettable result, but certainly in the greater scheme of things, it's certainly a very positive atmosphere that is happening down at St. Albans Saints Dinamo with everything that is going on. So thank you very much, Stefan, for joining us, and wishing you all the very, very best for the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Stefan.
Awesome.
Thanks, Stefan.
Stefan Baricevic from St. Albans Saints. Gents, I think we might take a little bit of a break now, have a couple of adverts that we've got from sponsors, gives us a chance to take a little bit of a breather. And for everyone else there, thank you for joining us in good numbers as well. It is our, what are we calling it, Craig? The Sunday
supplement, isn't it?
Sunday supplement. I like it. So an opportunity to get all the lowdown of all the news that's happening throughout the week. So don't go away, folks. We're going to be right back very, very shortly. Under new management, the
Hands for Hire is a free platform that connects people looking for more work in their downtime, and also businesses who want to list jobs on a casual basis. Are you finding that you have spare time and could actually be earning extra money? Or do you need a hand on a casual basis and don't want to employ a full-time worker? Hands for Hire is the app to help you fill that time yourself without paying huge fees to recruiting agents or labour hire companies. Signing up is completely free, without any obligation.
Are you opening a new business or want to improve your current exposure to drive more customers? Then talk to our team at Principal Signs. We have over 30 years' experience of helping businesses like yours stand out from the crowd. We can design, manufacture and install a range of signs, either permanent or temporary, at an affordable price without compromising on quality. A signage supplier with a reliable reputation. You can trust the team at Principal Signs to ensure that you make the best decision for your business and your budget. We are passionate about giving you a standout experience in customer service and ensure that we exceed your expectations every time. For more information, find us on Facebook or check out our testimonials and work examples on www.principalsigns.com.au or call Ray on 0406 728873 for a quote. Mention this ad for a 10% discount off your first order.
Welcome back to the Football Out West show. It is episode 56, and it's the Sunday supplement, as it's been dubbed.
Nothing to do with Essendon Footy Club.
No, nothing to do with them. No. Very good, Steve Curtin. Our special guest, Steve Curtin, ladies and gentlemen, and also
here all week.
Yeah. Big acknowledgement also for our episode sponsor tonight, and that is Sunbury Elite Indoor Sports Centre for all your indoor sporting needs. And if you're around the Sunbury area, make sure to pop in and say hi to Paul de Blasi. Gents, we've got our next guest on the line, but before we do go over to City Vista Reserve and Caroline Springs George Cross, let's quickly talk about the NPL 2 and NPL 3 competitions very, very quickly. Craig, first of all, to you. You spent a bit of time up in Shepparton over the weekend. So let's go through some of the NPL 2 results and the most important, fixtures.
Yeah, Tonci, I was fortunate enough to be up in Shepparton this week. Look, this league's a tough league, which is exactly how it was supposed to be. So there's some really good football insights in here. You see Brunswick City there at the top of the league, obviously closely followed by Kingston, Golden Valley Suns, who I had the pleasure of watching on yesterday afternoon. And I must say, big shout out to Craig Keilor. I did have a few beers with him on Friday evening, and he's got a fantastic football side there. Fantastic facility for those that have never been to Shepparton, the Shepparton Sports Centre. It is a fantastic facility and one of the best pitches I think our boys would have played on for years. But he has a very, very well organised drill side, and unfortunately for North Geelong Warriors, they came away with a loss, with a 4-3 loss, which was disappointing. Some sloppy goals given away. Got themselves back into the game at one point at 3-3. I think they were 3-1 down. Again, got back into the game at 3-3, and unfortunately couldn't keep the fourth goal out. And Golden Valley went on to win the game.
Now, Steve, we've got some of the results that we've gone through those games. Have you got the results there handy?
Yeah, so just following up on that, as you said, Brunswick City, they're flying. They won over Pascoe Vale on Friday night, 2-0. And it was yesterday, the Moreland Zebras, a 3-1 away win at Werribee City. Moreland City and Northcote City shared the points yesterday, 2-2. A real high score at Manningham, as the Manningham United Blues 4 were defeated by Kingston City 7. So a goal fest there. And as Craig was touching on there, Golden Valley Suns 4, North Geelong 3. And the match still to come tomorrow night at the Veneto Club, Bulleen Lions versus Langwarrin.
Yeah, there you go. So that should be quite interesting. That now we've just moving along. Moving our attention now to NPL 3 competition. Craig, now we've got some of the looking at the ladder there. What most, is most interesting to you?
Yeah, look, I think Preston Lions certainly going from strength to strength. A fantastic win yesterday against Doveton, I think it was, coming away with 3 points there down at Waratah Reserve. But Western United 3, Melbourne City 3. A goal fest there up at the ABD in Broadmeadows, where Western United held the game. Whittlesea Rangers. Losing 2-0 to Ballarat City, so a massive win there for Ballarat, and I think that took them off the foot of the table for I think actually they may be just off the foot of the table. Nunawading beating North Sunshine Eagles. That's a fantastic result down there. As I said, Preston Lions defeating Doveton. Box Hill defeating Springvale White Eagles at home, and the result for the Melbourne Victory Geelong Soccer Club, who played this afternoon, hasn't come in yet. So I'm not sure.
I got that one here now. It's 1-1 at Epping Stadium between the Victory and Geelong.
1-1 was it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
And that ladder's
Don
taken.
Swinton scoring the equaliser in the 73rd minute for Geelong.
Who was that? Yeah. Dominic Swinton.
Yes.
Yep. Dominic Swinton. And that ladder, gents, by the way, is taken from the Football Victoria website. And it has been a little bit slow to update the North Sunshine Eagles and Nunawading City game. And for Michael Ong's benefit, being a Nunawading City stalwart, Nunawading are in fact off the bottom of the ladder there.
Yeah, I'm just looking at City. It's been updated. So Ballarat City down there on 12th on 4 points. Springvale White Eagles 11th on 4. North Sunshine Eagles in 10th on 5. Whittlesea Rangers at 9th on 6. And Nunawading have moved up to 8th on 6 points.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, guys, let's quickly look at State 1, and then we're going to bring our guest in from who's I guess from State 1. But Steve, over to you first. Any results that you've got there handy?
Yeah, just digging them out here. So State League 1, we've got matches played on Saturday. Corio 2, Whittlesea United 2, Sydenham Park 3, Keilor Park 0, Yarraville 2, Essendon Royals 1, Banyule City 1, FC Clifton Hill 3. And the match we'll speak about shortly with Joey, Caroline Springs, George Cross 1, Brimbank Stallions 1. And there's one fixture I don't have a result for, Fitzroy City and Altona City. I'm sure someone's got that in the comments.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting one. If that was played last night, that game. So if anyone from Altona City is tuning in, let us know. Keep us in the loop with that result. But George Cross doing very, very well, although it was a little bit of a hiccup, I suppose, yesterday, because that ladder also hasn't been updated. So they're on 16 points. They dropped their first point of the season. But Brimbank Stallions did likewise. Or they only gained a point. So, look, interesting stuff up the top of the competition standings there for State 1. The fixtures, we'll have a quick look at the fixtures. Next Friday night, Essendon Royals taking on Sydenham Park. So that's our 3rd versus 5th. Then we've got Corio Soccer Club hosting Fitzroy City. And a big shout out to Corio Soccer Club's Darcy Rapper. He's really been in the wars, and he had a major injury a few years back that sidelined him for a while, but he had a horror injury yesterday as well. So thoughts and prayers with Darcy Rapp and everyone connected with the Corio Soccer Club. Not too sure the extent of the injury there, Steve. I'm not sure if you know anything further.
Yeah, well, it's just a bit of a scary one because it is a spinal-related one, I understand, from what I've heard from our good friend of the show, Santino Mamone. So, but I believe, he's started his recovery process, and we wish Darcy all the best because some things are bigger than football, including your health, and we hope he's going to be okay. Yeah,
before we go on to the other fixtures, Craig, we have got an update on the Altona and Fitzroy game last night. It was a 2-2 result, apparently.
Yeah, thanks, Alan Vella, for letting us know that. So, 2-2 there at Kim Reserve. So, look, it's a tough league, we'll speak to Joey about it now, but it's a really tough league. Yarraville, fantastic result on the weekend. If you look at the results of all the games, that's a standout one for me. Yarraville defeating Essendon Royals. We had Paul Don on the show a few weeks back, and he was quietly confident that they were going to do well this year, and it certainly looks that way. They're up there in fourth and defeated one of the potential title contenders, I suppose, in Essendon Royals yesterday. So it's a tough league, and I'm sure our next guest will be able to back that up, Tonci.
Absolutely. So before we get to him, Clifton Hill taking on Altona City at Quarries Park. Banyule City hosting Brimbank Stallions. Keilor Park hosting Caroline Springs George Cross at the Keilor Park Recreation Reserve. And then on Sunday, Whittlesea United taking on Yarraville. But without further ado, let's bring our next guest on, Craig. I'll let you introduce him.
All right, thank you. Sorry for keeping you in the background there, but we welcome a very great guest for us, ex-Melbourne Knights player and current Caroline Springs George Cross defender, Joey Franish. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how you going?
Very well. Sorry to have you in the background there.
No worries at all. No worries. It was good to just listen for the results, actually, to catch up on them all.
Joey, great. Welcome to the Football Out West show. Really is an absolute pleasure to have you on board. Now, mate, let's talk about yesterday. It was a huge occasion. We've got some photos there of the day, but it was the 2000th league appearance for the Georgies. Now, mate, you've come from a club that has got a rich history, the Melbourne Knights, and you've stepped down to State 1 to help another club with an equally rich history, George Crossing, getting back into the NPL where it belongs. Mate, tell us about the day and how it went down.
Yeah, it was a fantastic day for the club. They had a big occasion. They had like a big band there playing music and a DJ. It was a really good atmosphere, actually. Before the game, when we were warming up, we heard all the music and that, which was good. And Mark Sultana, the president of the club, made some jerseys for the game, which I think they auctioned off after the game, which was great. But the club, it seemed like a really great atmosphere and a nice turnout for the club, which was great. A lot of great people down there, but unfortunately we couldn't get the result. We were knocking on the door all game and just couldn't convert our chances, and that was probably the only disappointing part of a wonderful day and a wonderful occasion for the club. And it was definitely a good day, other than the result.
Yeah. Yeah, but you look at the result there, and whilst it might have been disappointing for you to, you're still unbeaten. They are your closest title contenders at this stage of the season. Obviously, a very, very well organised drill side that Andrew Martha's got there. So, what was the game like itself to play in yesterday? Because we're just looking at footage of you guys walking out from the tunnels there. What was the atmosphere around the game like yesterday? Hello.
We haven't lost Joey, have we?
Well, it looks like
Are you there? I think I'm back in there.
We're back. Yeah, we got you back.
You can hear me,
Yep.
Yep. No, the game we knew it was going to be a tough game. You know how Stabber coaches and he plays to the percentages. You know, they're very dangerous from set pieces, which is how we conceded the goal we conceded was from a set piece. So we were prepared. We were pretty much prepared for exactly how the game was. But from our point of view, we sort of did everything we sort of planned out to do. We created a lot of chances, had a lot of one-on-ones, and to be honest, we just couldn't convert our chances. I think we hit the woodwork a number of times, and Chris May, who's a very experienced keeper, pulled off a couple nice saves and just denied us from getting the 3 points. But the atmosphere was great. The crowd come out in good numbers, and like I said, everything was good. The only disappointing part for our part was the result. But like you did say, Craig, we still are undefeated, and we do take a lot of positives out of the game. And I'm sure Eric will be working on our finishing during the week, and we'll come to Keilor Park next week and hopefully bounce back and get back in the winner's circle.
Joey, Steve here. Thanks so much for giving up your time on your Sunday evening to come on the program. How have you found playing in State League One after coming from playing at the NPL level? And have you been one of the players encouraged to try and set the standard for some of the younger or less experienced players?
Yeah, look, State League One is definitely not as it is 4 leagues lower, obviously the drop, but it is a difficult league to play in because it's when you're in a team like George Cross, who obviously have set a foundation with a lot of very good and experienced players, wherever you go, you're the benchmark of the league, so everyone gets up for the game when they do play us. So their quality might not be as high, obviously, as what you come across when you play NPL, but the endeavour and the effort that they give is definitely much, much, much higher. So it's a tough league. Every team's up for it, and for us, our obvious ambition is to get promoted and win the league. So for us, every week's a tough game, and we're aware of that. And like I said, yeah, it's not as easy as I probably anticipated it to be, but yeah.
And is it more physical, Joey, than what you would get in the NPL? Is there a lot more?
It is a lot more physical. It's a lot more physical, definitely. And like I said, just because we're the benchmark of the league, I just find teams get up when they do play against us. And I suppose that's normal. Like, obviously, when I played at Knights, I know you were obviously talking about it with Aidin Brice about playing South Melbourne, and I just knew that game I would be a lot better. I would be, I'd be a lot more motivated for that game, and I know that my effort and endeavour would always be a lot higher when I play that game. So that's how I feel teams are when they come up against us, especially at City Vista. You rock up, you've got a nice stadium there, you've got a beautiful surface to play on. Like, you're just buzzing to get out there. So it's definitely difficult being
the hunted. Yeah. Now, Joey, you mentioned about the facilities there at City Vista and the fantastic surface. And look, it's so good that obviously Western United have it as their training base. But you almost you're spoilt, for all the facilities that you've got. What's it like when you go on the road and you play at grounds or surfaces that aren't as good as City Vista? How do you adapt to that?
It's very, very. It can be very unmotivating, but that's where we need to keep our professionalism and make sure that we've got a job to do. And no disrespect to Banyule or Clifton Hill, but when you compare it to our City, only 2 away games I've played up until now, and when you compare that to City Vista, I mean, I don't think I've played senior level at a ground. Like, it's sort of pretty much just a park. Like, you can just walk in from anywhere, and the pitch is a lot smaller, and it's like I don't think, other than maybe a couple FFA Cup games away where I think I would have been rested when I played NPL, I haven't really come across these grounds. So, like I said, it is difficult to adjust, but we've got a target, and that's to win the league and get promoted. So we just got to make sure that we just go there, get the job done, and move on from there. Yeah,
I was just going to say that almost gives you more motivation, doesn't it, to get the job on there, get the job done, and get out of there as quick as you can with 3 points in the bag.
And like Eric said in King Talk, let's win here, and then hopefully never have to come here ever again.
I love that comment. Yeah, absolutely. This week, Keilor Park, at Keilor Park's ground, so at the Keilor Park Recreation Reserve. We mentioned, George Cross are the hunted. What are we expecting? What are you expecting from this big Western Suburbs derby against Keilor Park?
Once again, I expect it's going to be a very tough game. They'll have a smaller pitch than what we play on, and I don't know if the surface will be as good, although I think it's not too bad out there. And for us, it's just about going out there and getting the job done and working hard during the week to prepare for what's going to come. But once again, it's definitely not going to be an easy game, and we're aware of that, and we'll just try and be as professional as we can get the job done, get the win, and move on.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. I think, you can't be worried, about the other teams. You're sitting top of the ladder as you are, 5 or 6 games gone, 5 wins, obviously in the draw yesterday. People want to come out. You can't be too worried about what other people are doing. You just need to be professional in what you guys and what Eric is doing and you guys are doing on the training ground to take that into every game, and whatever happens. So it's really important for George is that they keep that focus on that winning mentality now in every game.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, on that note, Joey, thank you once again for joining us tonight. Really, really appreciate your insight. And it's great to see, you think about it, but now you're hearing it from someone who's come from an NPL standard, coming to a State 1 standard, and it's not that easy. And you've provided us a great insight into why it's not that easy and how difficult it can be as a club that is the hunted. But we're looking forward to next weekend. Oh, geez, this weekend hasn't even finished, guys, and we're already looking forward to next weekend. Gosh, we love it. We love it here at the Football Out West show. And Joey, thank you very much for joining us on the show tonight.
Thanks for having me. It was an absolute pleasure, guys.
Brilliant. Thanks, Joey.
Thanks, Joey.
Joey Franjic, he's a legend. And as Mark Sultana says, I'll bring that comment up there on it. What a great person to have at our wonderful club. Maxi Santic, another one who's, Maxi Santic, he must be in heaven. He had St. Albans, his club mentioned. Melbourne Knights, another club that he loves, and then Joey Franjic, someone that he knows very well. Maxi Santic, lots of love for Joey and the entire Franjic family, absolutely. Gents, we're going to go straight into State 2 competition. Craig is going to jump off. He's going to go grab our next guest, who is eagerly in the green room, and he has to do a bit of a run. He has to bolt down to the green room. Get there.
Yeah.
They're playing PlayStation or whatever it is that they're playing. By the way, we're not sponsored by PlayStation, but mate. Yeah, Steve, let's move along now to State 2 competition, okay? So first of all, let's go to some of the results that have happened in State 2 Northwest over the weekend.
Yep, so those results starting on Friday night at RD Reserve Westgate, 3-1 winners over Western Suburbs in a Western derby there. And then on Saturday, Albion Rovers, 3-0 winners over Geelong Rangers. Also on Saturday, Epping City at home went down 2-0 against Altona East Phoenix. Keilor United, they defeated Moreland United in another bit of a local derby, 5-0. And then a sensational result for Hoppers that we'll talk about a bit more in a moment, a 1-0 win over Strathmore, who've been flying this season. And then to round out those results last night, Hume United 3, Mill Park 1.
As we can see, the ladder there. And that is one division that is complete. So well done to all the State 2 Northwest teams. They've updated all their results. Yep. And as we can see, Strathmore split still on top, 15 points, but their lead has been cut down to just 2 points. Hume United in second spot. Then you got Westgate, Hoppers Crossing, who are equal second, I guess, on a slightly inferior goal difference, and Altona East Phoenix also on 10 points. What a division this one is. We talk about tough divisions, we talk about tough competitions, but this one truly is a phenomenal one. Albion Rovers, then followed by Western Suburbs, Keilor United, Geelong Rangers, Mill Park, and then we've got Epping City and Moreland United. Mate, it's a good one. I tell you what, let's quickly look at the fixtures for next week before we get our next guest on. Keilor United at home to Epping City. You'd think that that's a sort of an easy win for Keilor United, but, you never know. Yep. Moreland United and Hume United.
Hume should get the win for me there.
Yeah, you'd think that. Geelong Rangers and Altona East Phoenix. So that should be a good battle. Rangers are a different side when they play at their Myers Reserve facility in Bellpost Hill. Altona East, don't expect everything to go their way. That's going to be a pretty good game, Steve.
Yeah, Rangers could just about nick it there. Only 3 points separate those two sides at the moment.
Yeah.
And then also on Saturday, Mill Park against Westgate there at Partridge Street Reserve.
Yeah, that should be another good one as well. Western Suburbs at home to Hoppers Crossing. Look, that should be a 7th versus 4th. And look, 2 points separate those two teams. So, look, a Western Suburbs win here will certainly, derail Hoppers Crossing's plans of moving further up the ladder. But a win for Hoppers Crossing, on the other hand, buoyed by their great result against Strathmore Split yesterday, that will shoot them up further closer to the top. And look, Strathmore Split they return to their Strathnava Reserve Complex up there in Strathmore.
Right there behind the Essendon Airport there, mate.
Yeah, and they'll be taking on Albion Rovers, mid-table Albion Rovers. They'll be very, very keen to get back on the winners list. But it's all about Hoppers Crossing, and we're going to bring our next guest on the screen now. Craig's gone to fetch him. Craig, have you got our next guest?
Yeah, we have. Pleasure to have the captain of Hoppers Crossing on the line, Matthew Scott. Good evening, Matthew. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. How are we, boys?
Very well. You?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Well, we're happy to have you, but we're certainly not as good as what you are after that win yesterday at Grange Reserve, mate. Take us through the game and how did it pan out?
Obviously, yesterday a big game for us. Off the back of two pretty disappointing results in consecutive weeks coming into it. Against a very, very good team. Obviously, flying at that point. I think they were 5-5. So. Strong team. Fairly sort of pretty tactical affair. I wouldn't say it was a barnstormer for a neutral to watch, to be honest with you. Both teams had a pretty good shape about them, out of possession. I thought we probably just shaded the first half. We had a header. The keeper made a great save from a header from a cross. Hit the post from another cross. But 0-0 at half time. Came out, and I thought they probably shaded the second half. They had, a lot of ball, a lot of territory. But our keeper didn't have a lot to do in saying that. And we sort of, went up the other end and for a good bit of play, played out and managed to get a cross in and across the face, and our number 9 managed to smash it in. So, and then the last 10 was sort of hanging on, but. Not too uncomfortable, really.
All right. Now, how about the lights at the Grange? What's it like playing Saturday night football there? What's the atmosphere like, and how do the players respond to that new sort of fixturing? Are they enjoying it?
We are. It's a bit different, from the top down to 3 o'clock that we're used to, but certainly different. It's been fun. The results are a bit mixed, so. Maybe we don't agree with it as much as we think, but it's certainly fun.
And how do you just on that, play an evening? We spoke to Aidin Brice earlier on about evening games. How do you guys then prepare for what you've always done on a Saturday? Is get up and prepare for a 3 o'clock kickoff? How different is it preparing for a 7 o'clock kickoff to your normal 3 o'clock that everybody's been used to?
It's certainly just a lot more waiting around. But you're able to, do a few more things in the morning. I go through my normal sort of, stretching routine, blah, 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 in the morning. And then, as I said, it's a little bit more waiting around. Usually get to the games about 2 hours before. For me anyway, I'm sort of sick of waiting around in the house at that point. So I'll just head on down and,
And how are you finding Rocco? Obviously, be very careful what you say here, but obviously Rocco's come in. Obviously, Sean has had a bit of time off. First and foremost, how is Sean? How's his recovery?
Yeah, I spoke to him today. He shot me a quick message from this morning. Yeah, he's going well. Still sort of just at home. On sort of bed rest, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
He's been feeling a lot better the last couple of weeks, so it's good. He's hopefully, going to try and make an appearance in the next couple of weeks. So
fantastic.
That's good from that point of view. In terms of Rocco, he's been really good. He's been fantastic. He's thorough. He's detailed. He does a lot. Does his homework. His instructions are clear, and his sessions are planned. So that's really pretty much all you can ask for, really. And his communication's open and honest. So. pretty much, tick all the boxes that you want from a coach. Obviously, it's been, maybe a little bit difficult for him in terms of, I think he was rushed in, a week before the season. But obviously, not a lot of time to get to know the boys and, feel out the squad. But yeah, he's come in, he's done a really good job. And it's a pleasure having him. So, he's been good.
Okay, and Matt, for those of us who haven't seen you play firsthand, tell us a little bit about your role in the team there at Hoppers, and has it changed at all under the current coaching setup there at all this season?
Well, I've personally played centre midfield on the odd occasion. I know the few boys will get a bit of a laugh out of this, but I have to slot in at centre half,
Right.
across the years, and that was certainly the case as well yesterday. Slotted in. A few of the boys certainly think that's my position, and probably will be going forward. But mainly a midfielder, but able to slot in at centre half when needed.
Yeah, and one of the things that's always I've found about Hoppers Crossing, and as we know, we've known each other for a fair bit, and come across each other within Hoppers. And the one thing that's always struck me about Hoppers is that when we spoke about it earlier on again about togetherness within the squad. Players that have been there for a long time. Grown up together, come up through the leagues together, got to State League One, got relegated, back into that four. But there's been a real change of personnel within the club. Some have come back, some have gone, but it's a very different Hoppers Crossing to probably what people have been used to over the last couple of years. How's that been in gelling everybody, given the fact that there hasn't been any football for 18 months?
I think the process has been good. We brought, obviously, a lot of the core, as you say, has remained and remained throughout. But this year we've sort of taken the angle of, bleeding in a few youngsters that, got some real potential, I think. And a few extras, picked up a few boys from, higher divisions coming down. So the blend's going well. And in the games that we played some really nice football. Some of the results haven't gone necessarily our way. But they probably haven't been a fair reflection of the game that's been played. So, I think that the gel's going really well.
Now, Matthew, we obviously see that Strathmore Split are not invincible because you guys proved it yesterday. But obviously, a team like that's come from State 3 to State 2, and they've been doing so well. You guys have got a really good indication of are they really that good? Are they the team to beat? And are they the still the odds-on favourite for the title? And if so, which other team? Let's put Hoppers Crossing aside, because of course Hoppers Crossing is the other team that will get promoted. But in your opinion, who is the other side that is the danger side in State 2?
Certainly touching on Strathmore. They are a very capable team. They're very organised, they're very experienced. They've got an abundance of quality, so I think they'll certainly be up there. In terms of the other teams that we've played, I don't really. I think they're maybe a gear above everyone else that we've played. Westgate as well. They're certainly tough. We played them in the opening round. Very similar, very organised, very experienced. They know what they're about, and they've got quality in their forward position. So I think they're certainly the two from what we've played. It would have to be those two.
Well, Kev Smart's posted a comment here on the comment section. He said 100% centre back should never play midfield again. So goes back to what you were saying, that you're probably going to end up being a centre back, Matty. So good luck to you with that one. But look, mate, thanks for giving up your Sunday evening. It's 8:15, and I know you've probably got better things to do than talk to us. But really, thanks for giving up your time, mate, coming on and talking about Hoppers Crossing, a club that's done very well for us, and we keep in contact with on a regular basis. So best of luck for the coming season, mate, or for the rest of the season rather, and we'll try and get you on throughout the back end of the season as well.
Yeah, sounds good. Not a problem. Appreciate it. Anytime.
Awesome. That was Matthew Scott from Hoppers Crossing. Really, as Craig said, really appreciate him coming on. Now, we're supported in 2021 by our major sponsor, George Cross Football Club. Our episode sponsor today is the Sunbury Indoor Sports, but we're going to take a short break. When we return, we are going to then look at some of the women's competitions as well, NPLW and the VPLW, and we'll also have our final guest for the evening, and that is going to be State League 5 men's football, and it's the Keilor Wolves. We'll be looking at them as well. So don't go away, folks. You are tuning into the Football Out West show. It's a marathon Sunday night supplement.
Looking for the best in authentic Maltese cuisine? Then you need to dine at Georgie's on Vista. Situated in the heart of Fraser Rise, you can't go wrong when it comes to family dining. We have a menu for mum and dad, one for the kids, and one for seniors. Everyone's taken care of. Don't miss our specialty nights. Tuesday night is Parma night, where you get to choose from not one, but 5 different Parmas. Wednesday night, kids eat free with every paying adult meal. Thursday night is Members Night, where members get the chance to win some great prizes. And Friday night, join us for happy hour between 5:30pm to 7:30pm. Jim, Johnny, Jack, and their little brother Schooner are only $5 each. Looking to get an early start Friday afternoon for a punt? Our sports bar with TAB is open from 3pm Friday afternoons. To book your table, email info@georgiesonvista.com.au. Bring the family and come dine at Georgie's on Vista, 46 City Vista Court, Fraser Rise, Plumpton.
Welcome back to the Football Out West show. It's Sunday night. It's a Sunday night supplement. We've got heaps and heaps to get through, and we still have got a lot more to get through. So we're not going to now. We're going to have to very, very, very quickly touch on the VPL. Well, sorry, we'll actually go to the NPLW. We'll go to that one first. Gents, Calder United from a Western Suburbs point of view. Steve, firstly to you, Calder United on top of the competition standings there. The only real Western side in the NPL. Great result after 4 rounds there.
Yeah, so they got a good 5-0 win over Heidelberg United there. So, but yeah, it's been an interesting comp so far, and we've seen FV Emerging give South Melbourne a real touch-up last Monday night, which was a surprise, but they've got a more mature playing group than previously. So they're one of the big threats this year, the FV Emerging squad, which is interesting. They're in second there behind Calder United, and then South Melbourne, Alamein, Heidelberg United, FC Boyne Lions, Box Hill United, and Bayside, rounding out the 8 sides in that competition.
Yeah, now turning our attention now to the VPL competition or VPLW competition. We've got all the results there. We just don't have. I think that the ladder hasn't been updated. So let's quickly go through all those results, Steve.
Yeah, so you can see on your screen there. Preston Lions 2, Boroondara Carey Eagles 4, Southern United 2, South Yarra 3, a 5-all between Whitehorse United and Melbourne Knights. If you'd like to see goals, that was the place to be there. Geelong Galaxy got their first win, 3-2 away at Casey Comets, and Eltham Redbacks also away winners at Melbourne University, 2-1.
Yeah, fantastic there to see that. So if we go quickly back to the ladder there, Boroondara definitely on top, doing very well. Whitehorse United as well. South Yarra Southern United. So look, the Western suburbs or the Western region clubs are struggling at the moment. Really, I guess there are only 2 Western region clubs in that division, Melbourne Knights with 1 point. And that hasn't been updated, the result, because Galaxy United now have got their first 3 points off the season. So they'll be jumping up a few spots up there, up the ladder as well. So that's a good result for them as well. Also, Eltham Redbacks, I think that should be on 6 points as well.
We'll check that table again tomorrow. Yeah. A lot of those teams haven't got their round 3 results posted on that table. So check that back tomorrow and we might get a more accurate figure. Yeah,
I guess that's the problem of when you do have a Sunday night competition and you don't get or Sunday night show and we don't have everyone putting all their ladders up to date. But nonetheless, let's move along now to Men's State 5. Craig, our next guest is on the line. Is that right?
He is. We have the pleasure of Sofiane Soufi, I love saying that name.
Say it again.
You should be in the movies, mate, with that name. The Keilor Wolves State League 5 club. Obviously, we welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys. Tonci, Stefan, Craig, thank you. How are we going?
Very well, Sofiane.
Yeah,
very
thanks,
well, mate. And we're speaking of going very, very well, State League 5 at the moment. Geez, I tell you what, you guys are doing exceptionally well. Look, 5 games, 5 wins, 100% record at the moment, and that win-loss record continued yesterday when you defeated Barwon Soccer Club, who was one of the front runners for the title pre-season, I guess. 2-1 at Grovedale Reserve. That takes you on to 6 games and 6 wins. So 18 points, 3 points clear of Lara United. How did yesterday's game go, firstly?
Yes, mate, couldn't ask for any better start so far. It's been good. Boys, been incredible. Bowen, very, very, very well organized. I've been very, very surprised by this team. They put us under massive pressure the first 35, 40 minutes. It's a team that played very, very direct football, long ball. And it took us a good half an hour to adjust ourselves. It was either to press them high to avoid this long ball or to win the second ball. Yeah, it took us a bit of time. So you never expect an easy game when you go away, first of all. And Barwon, a great team. They probably would be up there this season. No doubt about this. No doubt.
Yeah, Sofiane, thanks for coming on now. You've taken obviously over the reins there at Keilor Wolves this season. They've been, I suppose, the underdogs or the not the underdogs, the actual favourites for State League 5 for a number of seasons, and just haven't quite got there for various reasons. What's been the big difference this season? Because you've gone on a six game unbeaten run, only conceded 3 goals. What's been the big difference there at the club this season?
Where do I start? I think the biggest change is start from the committee. I think the president and the vice president took over again. The president, Peter, have been there, I think, a few years back. Then he left. The new committee took over. Then he came back this year, and obviously the changes start from the squad itself. We've got probably 2-3 players maximum that were playing at Keilor Wolves last year. The rest of the squad is pretty much brand new. So we had to do a massive work off-season to recruit players. And it's been great. It's been great. The new committee created a great environment. It's as I said to the boys, we in State 5, but the environment, the atmosphere, the pitch, the change rooms, the junior setup. I would say that any State 1, any State 2 would survive this, So, we played last Friday night again. We played at home. 300-400 people was at the club. So you imagine what it means for a State 5 team to have 300-400 spectators. It's huge.
Yeah, myself and Steve
we saw that, didn't we, Craig?
That evening, and we kept looking over, and every now and then there was a big cheer, and we didn't know whether it was yourself or Balmoral. But now you're saying there was 300 or 400 people there, and the noise was deafening from where we were. So, and you just mentioned there, the pitch. It is probably the best pitch in that league, and probably State League 4 with no doubt. It must be fantastic to play on a facility like that.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure. It's something. It's a big plus to attract players as well. When you talk to a player who's been playing a bit higher, State 1, State 2, State 3, usually these clubs have good setup. So when they hear State 5, straight away they think, all right, there's no light at training, this kind of things. No. As I said, the environment, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. This club has a huge potential.
Sofiane and Steve here. Thanks so much for joining us on your Sunday evening. Now, talk a bit about your philosophy and your style of play that you're implementing there at the Keilor Wolves, and something the other clubs in State 5 probably won't want to hear. Is there still more improvement to come from your squad, given that it is a new group of players, the new sort of nucleus for the side there, and you're already 6 from 6?
Absolutely. Being in State 5, first of all, it means there is a lot of work to be done. If you were that good, you wouldn't be in State 5. Let's be honest. Then the second part of this, it's I've got 80% of the squad who is under 22 years old.
Yeah.
So the biggest challenge for a club, biggest challenge for a coach is to develop and in the meantime get results.
Yeah.
Develop as a coach, it's expected. We all must give back what we received when we were younger, what we had. It's a duty for a coach to develop. And now get results. It's another story. You know, when you combine both of them, the club is happy, coach is happy, the player is happy. Yeah, it's a big challenge, but yeah, having young players in the squad, it's every week. It's you gotta guys relax. We've only done 1/3 of the season, 6 games. There's 22 games, and we take game after game. That's it. They're young and they need a bit of structure on the pitch, structure mentally, and But it's a good thing and bad thing to have young players. But the best thing is there's a lot to be done.
Sofiane, development of football players, as we know, we've spoke many times on the development of footballs. Just give our listeners that are here, obviously there'll be a lot of people that do know you, there are a lot of people that don't know you. You're obviously, from your accent, you're not from Melbourne. Give us a little bit of an insight into your football career and what brought you to Australia, and touch on what else you do within the football environment here in Melbourne.
First of all, I come from France, as you can hear. Sorry for my French, huh? It's not a joke, but that's real. I've been playing and formed at a club called Saint-Étienne in France.
Saint-Étienne, yeah, right.
Yes, over 10 years for this club, from very young age to all the way to the youth system. And Australia has so much to learn from all this country. You know, when I speak to you guys, when you football lovers, and our duty now is to develop the kids. And Australia really should have a serious look at how we develop the kids in Europe, not only as a player, but also in an educational state of educational point of view. In all these clubs in Europe, you must they partner with a private school around the club. You must be a good student in order to be a good footballer. If you are not a good student, you can't make it.
Yeah. Sofiane, did you see a young Wesley Fofana coming through at Saint-Étienne?
Sorry?
Did you see Wesley Fofana coming through at Saint-Étienne at the time?
Yes, he was there. No, I didn't play with him. He's much younger than me.
Oh, no, sorry. I meant overseeing the youth.
Overseeing the youth. Wesley Fofana, sorry?
Yeah. Oh, were you? I was just going to say, were you there overseeing the youth when he was coming through the ranks?
No. I haven't met him. Not at all. He's a good player, isn't he?
Fantastic player.
Yeah. So yeah, I played in France, came to Australia 11 years ago, played a bit of football in here. My first club was Box Hill United. And that's it. I do a lot of futsal around Australia. Mm-hmm. In futsalos every Friday night, a league called Series Futsal. It's good for the touch. Yep. And we're just having fun. It's important to have fun.
Perfect. Awesome, mate. Well, looking ahead, we've got a very big week for our Keilor Wolves. You're 6 from 6 at the moment, but you come up against third place Deakin University. That's down at Green Gully Reserve. So hopefully we could get a few more spectators. If we had 300 or 400 recently, well, maybe we should get 500-600 to this game, because this is going to be an absolute classic. First versus third. We wish you all the best for Saturday's game and also the rest of the season. And thank you very much for joining us, Sofiane.
7 p.m. Saturday night. Come watch. Come have a beer, eat something, and we'll be more than welcome. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated.
Craig said he's picking me and Steve up, and then afterwards we're going for a curry. Is that right, Craig?
No, my curry's waiting, guys, so it's cold.
So there you go, folks. If there is a very strange smell emitting from the Werribee area, it is not the sewage farm. It is Craig's curry. So we better finish up there. Sofiane, thank you very much for joining us. Wishing you all the very best for the rest of the year.
Guys, keep going. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sofiane.
Thanks, Sofiane.
We don't get called awesome often, so we're thanking very, very much for that. I really appreciate that. Gents, it's come to the end of the show. Wow, the new time slot, I think, is proving a winner. Folks, we'd love to hear from you what you think, but geez, did we get through a lot of information, a lot of news, a lot of views tonight. Steve, thank you very much for joining us. We hope this is a regular thing, Craig, don't we?
Yeah, it'd be brilliant to get you on every week with us, mate. And we're going to continue with the format. Perhaps not get as many guests on because we want you boys to be involved. We want you guys phoning in about your experiences over the weekends, and but I'm certainly going to try and get as many.
Oh, we've got a frozen connection.
We've got a glitch.
He's about to deliver the key piece of information there.
What happened there?
I just froze. Just went frozen, didn't it? So
you got through 90 minutes, and then that's it.
Yeah, look, it's great to get you on back on the show, Steve. We love having you on.
Thanks, guys.
You are the brains behind the results and the and everything. The stato, I call you, don't I? When we're commentating, it's great to have you on board, mate. We'd love to have you on every week.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm the beauty of the three, but I've been experimenting with this new light.
Yeah, you want to switch it off,
starting to show all these blemishes. We need a makeup artist as well. Okay, gents, thank you very much. Steve, we'll be back together tomorrow for the Geelong Region Soccer Show. Our featured club tomorrow is Bowen Soccer Club, sponsored by Rendine Constructions, who are heavily involved in a few soccer pavilions down Geelong Way. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of tonight's show. Really, really appreciate you all being a part of tonight's show. Thank you very much. Don't go away next Sunday and do something, watch TV or anything like that. You want to stay with the Football Out West show every Sunday night from 7 p.m. Good night.